Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. It's been a rough night for Boris here. I went 4 wins with a druid, 6 wins with a paladin, 6 wins was always the worst. So you know what, before I call it a night, let's go ahead and stay up a little late together. That sounds creepy. And play a little bit of Hearthstone. Who do we have to pick from today? Alright, this is my first draft out of 5 that does not have a druid in it, which is great. Played Paladin last time. Warrior I'm still uncomfortable with. I think Shamans are fine. So let's go ahead and grab a Shaman. Right, starting things off with a difficult choice. Lava Burst is pretty good removal, but the Defender of Argus is a creature that wins games. Whew, that's a tough call. Very tough call, because sometimes you just need things to die, and 5 damage is a lot of damage. But I think the Defender of Argus is even stronger. But man, it's a tough decision. Holy cow. I think I'm going to go for the Defender of Argus and try to stick to less overloady removal. 2 overload is a pretty severe price. Although this is a finisher, you can deal 5 damage to your opponent. Oh man. Alright, well let's see it. I've played with the Defender of Argus before. Let's take the Lava Burst here and see which one we end up thinking was better. This is a bad card, good card. Let's take it. Bad card, okay card, and the Questing Adventurer is a little bit slow. Problem with the Questing Adventurer is he can get really big, but he is a 2/2 for 3 mana when you start things off, and like, that's actually really bad. So, I'm going to actually just take a 2-drop here. Sure, it dies to some hero powers, but you're only going to be playing mages, rogues, and druids a third of the time, and the rest of the time this is totally fine. Choose a minion. When that minion is destroyed, return it to the battlefield. That's kind of techie. I think I'll just take a 3/2 with a great power. Let's do that. Alright, so tricky choice here. We have Bloodlust, which can win games, or the Loot Hoarder, which is a very solid 2-drop. Now, the problem is this is early in the draft. So if I get a Bloodlust later, I'm going to be really annoyed, because I personally don't want to play with 2 Bloodlusts in the deck. I think that's too much Bloodlusting, and you don't have enough creatures to take advantage of it. So if I get one later, I'll be really annoyed. If I take it now, if I take the Loot Hoarder now and don't get a Bloodlust later, then I will be annoyed. So I have to judge the potential upside of having a Bloodlust versus the downside of missing an opportunity later on. Bloodlust is a very strong card because it can it can kill your opponent when it's from a surprising position. Like if you have, let's say, 4 creatures on the board, Bloodlust is like 12 damage, which is just a phenomenal amount of damage. But that's usually the way people use it, is just as damage. If you're using it as sort of quasi-removal, it's pretty bad. I think Bloodlust is a very good card, but it's overrated. Like, it's good, but people consider it spectacular. So I'm okay if I end up without it, and I'd rather have this Loot Hoarder, which is just such a solid 2-drop. Right, these are all 3 good cards. I'm really sad to see them in the same pack. All 3 are fine, but the Shattered Sun Cleric is one of my favorite cards, so I'm going to grab it. Alright, well we have a chance to get another Lava Burst, or 2 sort of interesting cards. I got wrecked by my Manatide Totem, but if you don't have board control, it's really not that great. I think the Lava Burst is what you've got to take here. Alright, so we can restore some health, which can be good, because Shamans, you're likely to have some totems on the board. This guy's a nice big fatty, but I like the No Vision Mentor a lot. It's a really good 4-drop. I don't have any. I prefer to play with lower curves. All that points to the No Vision Mentor. Systemic Might is garbage. This is garbage. And now I'll take a Venture Co Mercenary. Perfect. I get a rare or an epic or whatever this is. This is not so great. This is interesting because when it comes into effect, it's really, really strong. It's a 6/6 for 3, but when it doesn't, it's just 3/3 for 3, which is not as good. The Faceless Manipulator has the potential to be really strong because it can copy something huge that your opponent played and that you don't have an answer to, and usually really gigantic creatures answer themselves. So while it's nice to have a 3-drop, the chance of this going off are pretty small, and the Faceless Manipulator is very strong. But if this were anything weaker than Faceless Manipulator, I'd probably just be grabbing the Blood Knight. Alright, so interesting choice here. This is not a great card. Ogre Magi I think is fine. 4/4 for 4 is fine, and Spell Power is good with Shamans. So how good is an ability to deal 1 damage? Well, not that good, but I think the Silence is nice to have, especially because this really takes out Twilight Drakes, which wrecked me in the last draft. It takes out the Scarlet Crusader, And silence is a good thing to have. Plus, if there's a random minion that just needs to die, you can kill it. So I think I'd rather take that over the Magi. But now that I have Earthshock, I'll value spell power a little bit more. Alright, this is an extremely good 2-drop. This is fine, but I don't want to play with more than one unless I have to, and this is too weak. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this amazing 2-drop. He single-handedly won me a game in my last draft. Alright, very tricky call here. Interestingly, the big game hunter kills the Earth Elemental. And it's nice to have something in your deck that will just kill your opponent's gigantic creature. The Earth Elemental, though, is just such a monster. I mean, a 7/8 with taunt for 5 is so ludicrous that I'll pay the taunt. I'll pay the risk of having it die. I think it's more valuable than having this big game hunter in your deck. Alright, so the Dust Devil I don't like, it's too risky. Infiltrator is a good 1-drop, but I'm missing 4-drops, and Silence is a very good ability, plus a 4/3 body. This was really, I think, just the best card for silencing. That's, well, one of the best. The best card is the Druid's Keeper of the Grove. That's the best silence card. I think the second best is the Spellbreaker, so I'm going to grab it here. Alright, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible! Oh my god, why do I get these terrible packs? I swear, other people don't get packs this bad. Well, do I have any Murlocs? I do, actually. I have the Murloc Tidehunter. Plus 2 health to other Murlocs. Oh lord, this is so bad. This draws everybody 2 cards, and your opponent has the advantage because if you draw it early in the game, you don't have the mana to use what you drew, but your opponent gets to do it first. Later in the game, it's pretty great because, you know, if you have 10 mana and you play this, you know, you can potentially, with 7 mana, use some of the stuff that you drew. This is such a terrible pack. I cannot believe how terrible this is. I guess we'll take the Cold Lights here because it's less risky. But my god, was that horrific. Alright, Knife Juggler Spectacular. Ravenhold Assassin is really good. It's 7 damage and it's stealth, so your opponent can't deal with it right away. And 7 damage, I mean, that can just finish your opponents off, kill their biggest creatures, or whatever. So it's a nice late game drop. But the Knife Juggler is a terrific early game drop, especially because the Shaman puts totems on the board with his hero ability and gets some extra value. So I'm going to go for the good early game drop as opposed to the good late game drop. Okay, bad card. Okay card. 4/7 for 6 isn't terrible, and it is really hard to bring down. Spell power is good, but this is removal for 1 mana. I will take it. Bad. Okay, and then pretty good. So, I found this to be actually a really annoying creature for opponents to deal with, but the Scarlet Crusader is just better, so I think I'd rather take it. I don't like any of this stuff. The Ventricle Mercenary, sorry, I like, but I already have one. I don't want to have more than one. And you know what? This is filling a hole in my curve. I don't like these, but it is just sometimes really annoying for your opponents to get through it, and it can protect your earlier creatures. So okay, we'll grab that. This is not what I want to play. Both of these are fine. This is an earlier drop, and it actually interacts really well with totems. While the Auctioneer is fine, how many spells do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spells? I think I'd rather take this for the earlier drop and the interaction with the totems. These are all 3 good cards, so I really wish like one of these had been in the pack where I took the Murloc freaking, no, the Cold Light freaking stupid rares. The Windspeaker can be really devastating. Problem with Wind Fury is it doesn't help you trade up. So like if you have a creature that has 3 power and you're trying to kill a creature that has 4 power, Wind Fury helps you 0 with that. It just does not help whatsoever. And it's a 3/3 for 4, which is weak stats-wise. So this is a bit of a risky card. It can be great on as a finisher to like, you know, Wind Fury your Earth Elemental or something crazy like that. But I'm not a big fan of it, and I think these are 2 really good 2-drops. So the Mad Bomber can be extremely powerful if it takes out your opponent's stuff. And in the worst case, it'll usually just deal some damage to you or your opponent instead. The Brewmaster can potentially do some interesting things. Is there anything I want to bring back? You know, interestingly, none of my stuff here. I could bring back this to get my Divine Shield reset, this to get the buff reset, this to get the silence reset. Yeah, I think this actually has some more potential, so I'm going to grab it. Alright, so I didn't take Bloodlust last time. I don't want Nightblade, and this is a decent 3-drop, but now is my chance to pick up Bloodlust, so since I didn't grab it last time, I'm going to grab it this time. Alright, interesting call here. I don't like this guy very much, and I have a lot of 3-drops. This is a very tricky creature to deal with on turn 1, and I could play it, but I could use some fatties. I have a low curve, so sure, let's grab a Boulder Fist Ogre. Dark Iron Dwarf is spectacular. I have a hole in my 4-drops. 1 damage is okay, but I like the Dark Iron Dwarf a lot. Okay, these are all decent. I think the River Crocolisk is a category below the other two. Spellbreaker is a card I don't like to have doubles of because you can draw both of them and have nothing to spell break. I also have Silence in the form of Earthshock. I don't need another Silence. I think I'll take another 2-drop. Let's go a little high on 2-drops this game because first of all, I have Shattered Sun Cleric and Dark Iron Dwarf to boost them up. I also have Bloodlust to boost them up. That's 3 things that boost them up. And I have Bloodlust, which makes you want things on the board. So let's go ahead and grab a Loot Hoarder. Alright, so Wind Fury, or another Dark Iron Dwarf. Let's get the Dwarf. Lava Burst number 3 is getting a little scary, but this is obviously terrible. I mean, actually, this on turn 1 and the Tidehunter on turn 2 makes it like a 3-2, but whatever. This, it can be really good, but if your opponent usually has 4 minions on the board, like this won't save you is the problem, and the minion that you steal has Summoning Sickness. I'll take a 3rd Lava Burst. Let's have some more removal. Alright, this is bad. This has an extra damage, but this has more late game potential, so we'll grab the Wolf. Okay, so let's see, how much big stuff do I have? 1, 2, 3 definitely. The Faceless Manipulator maybe. I could use another bigger guy. And we'll go ahead and pay the extra mana for the extra power and toughness. So this is actually, Lord of the Arena is a really good upgrade over the Bodyguard. 1 extra mana for an extra power and toughness is fine. I will pay that, especially because my curve is currently, I mean, I only have 5 cards that cost 5 or more. So I'm okay with taking that. This is, I don't want this, I don't want this. Ancestral Spirit, alright, fine. This interacts well with some things. It puts, Divine Shield back on this. It puts. I don't think it triggers a buff because it's not from your hand. Puts Taunt back on this. It lets you get another card with the Loot Order. I don't know, but these cards are so bad. I just have to take it. What a sad 30th card. Well, all right. Overall, I think this is a strong deck. I think I've got a good mix of removal, a really aggressive curve with some good interactions. I'm gonna say I think I can get to 7 wins. My last 3 drafts, I've said I didn't think I could get to 7 wins, and in one I got up to 9, and then in the other 2 I lost. I got 4 in one and 6 in the other. So I'm calling 7 wins here. Let's see if I can do it. Let's take a sip of good luck water and hope for the best. Let's find our opponent. I played no rogues in my first arena and like 15 rogues since then, so we'll see if it's a Rogue City still. Yeah, it's Rogue City. E-play. I don't believe I've played this rogue yet. Rogues are so unpredictable. I've crushed rogues so easily that it was just like huh, rogues schmogues, and then I've just been like beaten down. So it can go. You just never know. But I do know that it's good to go second against rogues, so I am. And that's a nice start. We're going to, assuming he has no turn 1 plays, kick things off with Coin Loot Hoarder, and then the Wolf. And then if he plays stuff, we can Lava Burst it. Alright, so I'm trying a little bit too much Lava Burst here. I would actually rather have creatures. But it's not the end of the world if I play this on turn 1, this on turn 2, Totem turn 3, maybe. Or a Lava Burst on turn 3. Of course, if he, like, you know, kills all my stuff and plays good stuff on his own, which rogues can do. Okay, there's all 3 of my Lava Bursts. This is actually probably bad. But my opponent looks to be a bad player. It's one of the nice things about playing in the beta. A lot of people don't know how to play the game yet. You, as a rogue, need to kill this Loot Hoarder here, because you take 2 damage by doing that, but instead you're taking 2 damage anyway when the Loot Hoarder attacks you next turn. So if you're taking 2 damage either way, you might as well kill it. By attacking me, he basically said, I would rather deal 1 damage to you than kill your creature. And it's not correct to deal an extra damage to someone at the expense of killing one of their creatures. So now the Loot Hoarder will deal 3 damage. And he can, of course, kill it now with his second durability, but I still think just logically it's not the right play. Oh, he's actually going to buff up his dagger to kill the wolf. I'm alright with that. That is okay. You can do that. So he's not doing anything with his life. That's good. That's good. Oh my god, I'm drawing all of my removal. Like, seriously. Okay, well, Taunt Totem is good. It actually is really good. Because unless he has, Poison Weapon? Poison Dagger? Deadly Poison? He can't. kill it. He is going to do that thing. Wow, it's kind of amazing how quickly rogues can get up in your face. Fortunately, I have answers to the things that he is doing. These 3-drops are a little bit unfortunate, but I can do Rockbiter Weapon. I think I'm going to Rockbiter myself. And kill the more dangerous of his drops. I will then cash the Loot Hoarder in. I should have actually done that first, because it draws a card. Ah, Knife Juggler. Well, since there is this Taunter in the way, I think I'll take the opportunity to put the Knife Juggler down and hang on to my removal for now. So next turn I have a pretty strong play. I can play the Earth Elemental or the Ventrico Mercenary. It's a very interesting decision, because if I play the Ventrico, the Earth Elemental is unplayable for a while. If I play... Ah, he did that. Nuts. So he's going to get to... This is our town scrub again. If I play the Earth Elemental, then on turn 6 I only have 3 mana available, which is enough to Lava Burst, actually. So I think I'm alright with that. Wow, he chose to Hero Power instead of bringing his scrub back down. I think this is not a very good player. I believe it's way more important to put your scrub back down than it is to get your weapon out. The hero ability is usually not as important as putting stuff on the board. Now, it's possible that he's playing around Lightning Storm, I guess. But I think, since the Overload is temporary, but this is permanent, I'm going to play this. Now, I'm assuming he has Assassinate, but he's going to be at 6 mana. He'll spend his whole turn playing Assassinate. No problem. I'm going to deal damage to his face and play Earth Elemental. The reason I did that is I feel that if he... wait, what is my reasoning for doing that? Oh, I figured that if he has Assassinate anyway, then he's not going to cash this Brewmaster into my Elemental. So, I didn't see any reason to kill this guy off to save the 3 damage. But he had the Faceless Manipulator, which, as you can see, was a really darn good answer to Earth Elemental. Fortunately, and I believe this is actually... Yeah, this is totally worth it. I am going to kill his Earth Elemental with Lava Burst, which apparently is a pretty good spell. Now, do I want to attack into it? No. If you're pretty sure your opponent is going to attack his creatures into yours, then hit him in the face. Now, what's really comical is I actually have lethal damage in 2 turns if this Elemental gets to hit him one more time. So he needs Assassinate right now. That's not Assassinate. And it seems like he doesn't have Assassinate, or else he wouldn't have silenced. Okay, so he has a Taunt, which is pretty good. He floods the board with all his crap. Alright, fair enough. And he's hitting me. Interesting. Okay. So the Taunt is actually a real problem, because if he didn't have this Taunter, who is, by the way, a terrible creature, I could just kill him. Next turn I could play this, and then he'd be at 6 health, and then double Lava Burst would finish the job. Instead, what I'm gonna do, this is actually... Yeah, this is the time when the Mogushan Warden really shines, so I'm gonna play him. And I'm gonna clear the path. So now, he'd love to kill this Elemental, but he can't because there's this 7 health he has to deal with first. So if he does not kill the Earth Elemental right here, or play another Taunter, then Earth Elemental plus double Lava Burst will win me the game. So it's a do or die for him. Pretty sure if he had Assassinate, he would have used it. He wouldn't have played this Owl to Silence, so he would need a top deck Assassinate if he has it. Other things can kill this. Combo, Eviscerate plus... Oh no, sorry, there's a Taunt in the way. What am I talking about? Yeah, he really is very difficult to kill this. And it looks like... Oh my gosh, it looks like he can't do it. Unless he's holding like a backstab? Yeah, he would have to have a backstab to kill this, and he apparently doesn't. Alright, that's the game. Woo! 1 rogue down. Oh, he's like... There's a Taunt in the way! Oh my gosh. I still win, because 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay. I was about to look really stupid. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did just look really stupid. But anyway, 1 rogue down, who knows how many more to go. Yeah, Earth Elemental, good card. What was it that I was picking the Earth Elemental against? Oh, I can't remember. Was it Ventrico Mercenary? No, that was what was in my hand. I'm gonna have to go back and look at this video. I can't remember what the... Because I remember, like, I was Earth Elemental or this other thing, and I wasn't quite sure, and I'm really glad I had the Earth Elemental because, That was great. And also, Lava Burst is an amazing card, apparently. Like, there was that one time when I was like, Lava Burst or something else. Oh, I can't remember that either. I have a really bad short-term memory, apparently. But anyway, whatever it was that wasn't Lava Burst, I'm really happy I took Lava Burst, because that made the game super easy. Heh Dude is a mage. Alright? I like being a shaman against mages because the mage power is really bad against totems. I mean, 1 out of the 4 totems will die to the mage power, but most of them will not. Now, do I want to keep this Earth Shock? I mean, if he plays like a Twilight Drake, I'm going to really wish I had it. I'm going to keep it. It's 1 less card from my deck that I get to see, but I'm okay with that. Okay, this is... The last game I had a really great starting draw. This game, my draw is garbage nuts. So, that's part of why I like going second. Never mind the coin, you just have an extra card that you see, and you get an extra mulligan, so it's kind of like a double whammy there. Well, triple whammy if you count the coin. So, I have an answer to a 1 toughness creature, but that is all I have. Other than that, I'm just playing totems. So this game, I could lose if my opponent has a really aggressive start. 7-6 on turn 5 with no other abilities doesn't necessarily do anything. Okay. So here's where, if he plays nothing on turn 1 and my turn 2 totem lives, I could actually buff it and have like a 1-3 and a 3-3 on the board, which is not exactly where you really want to be, but it's better than nothing. There are some things that I would Earthshock instead of playing a creature, or playing a totem, like a Pint-Sized Summoner, but not this. This is not worth a killing. Although, okay, the Elven Archer plus Firebolt will kill a totem, and that is actually kind of annoying because it means that then my Shattered Sun Cleric has nothing to buff on turn 3. However, as it stands, my Shattered Sun Cleric still has nothing to buff on turn 3 because if I spend a mana here, this thing just doesn't do anything. So I am going to just play a totem. It's a healing totem, so I get back the damage with the Archer shot. By the way, I think it's a mistake to play the Archer on turn 1 because you really waste the ability of it. I'd rather keep the damage for later. Than have a 1-1 body on the board. Now, it happens to work out well for him because I have nothing to play. So now he gets to, kill my totem. Alright, so he actually kills it in a much more productive way by putting a creature on the board. I am now in actually officially serious trouble because he is way ahead on the board here. This is normally a really good answer to this board situation, but not against a mage, which is sad. But I'm going to do the following. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to Earthshock the Archer now. And he can kill both my creatures with his hero ability and the wolf, which is a shame. So this is a time where I really wish I was not up against a mage, because like almost any other class, I'd really be much happier in the situation. But he's spending most of his mana on the turn to do that, so if he does say kill this guy with his wolf, use the mana bolt to kill this, then it's alright. So this is actually fine because he... Oh, it's interesting. I think that might be a mistake. I mean, he's letting me kill one of his taunts for free. I'm not sure he made the right call. Sparing my frog. Good rule of thumb, again, is kill your opponent's stuff. Even the little humble frog, Murloc Scout, can be a real pain in the butt.
What to do? What to do?
Okay, we have Lava Burst. Alright. Totem is not likely to help me. Ancestral Spirit is definitely not helpful at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the board, just to get stuff on the board. I mean, I technically have better stuff on the board now than he does. Do I hit the 1-1 or the 0-1? Well, if I hit the 1-1, the 0-1 becomes a 1-1, so that's totally pointless. So there's no reason to take the damage, so I'm going to hit the 0-1. Alright, so that's all I can do on my turn. Next turn, actually, my opponent, I would say, he kept playing things, but I would say he had a slow start. I mean, he had the Elven Archer. Oh, that's unfortunate. He just killed a guy. Well, that's alright. I still have a 3-3 to his 2-2 and 1-1. He can kill this off by trading the wolf into it and using the hero power, but he could be a lot more ahead on the board. It's a shame that I spent Earthshock, because Earthshock is the perfect answer to this thing. It kills it because it silences it, gets rid of the Divine Shield, and then deals 1 damage. But there's no point crying over spilled milk. Let's go ahead and do this, and then this. So I'm perfectly happy to do this. I don't really mind if he has Polymorph, because this is only 5 mana, and he's spending his entire turn to get rid of it. Plus then I have a thing that can break the Divine Shield. so that I can trade with his Crusader. So I'm actually feeling pretty okay. Cards, roughly the same. He just basically has his extra card for going second. And then board situation, obviously mine's better. If he has Polymorph, he spends his entire turn, and then I have the initiative. So I'm okay with how things are going here. I think I've got a pretty good shot at winning the game, especially considering I have the Ogre to play next after he kills this guy. And and then the Bloodlust later on. And Lava Burst in case anything bad happens. Now, even if he doesn't have Polymorph, I mean, he still can just Divine Shield into this, and then trade his Wolf in, keeping this guy, which is totally fine. So that's maybe even the best way to do it. He chose to do that. I think he does need to just trade. I mean, trading the Divine Shield is great. And then, yeah, use your Wolf to kill me. Okay, so that was his turn. I feel really good about how that went down, because now I can trade against this guy. I can actually Ancestral Spirit, but no, that's silly. I will just trade like this. No, that's so.
Job's done.
Alright, so because he 2-for-1'd against my Ventricle Mercenary, we're now even on cards? Oh, no, I'm sorry. He didn't 2-for-1, he just Divine Shielded. So no, he's still his one starting card ahead. Fireball, good answer. So he spent his entire turn answering what I did last turn, but this guy has stolen the board. So I would say he has the advantage, plus the health advantage is not insignificant. I've got this useless Bloodlust in my hand, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I have nothing to do. I think I took too many spells by accident or something, so I guess what we'll do is play a totem. See what it is first. Spell power. I can deal 6 damage. So, I could Rockbiter Weapon and do that and kill this thing. That is costing me 3 damage, which is dangerous against mages who not only deal damage every turn, but can have things like Pyroblast and whatnot. So if 3 damage does make the difference, that will be a shame. However, and then also all I'm keeping on the board is a 0-2, which isn't super great. If I wait a turn and he hits me, then I take the 3 damage anyway. And if he kills my totem, I have nothing to kill him with. Okay, so I do just need to, unfortunately, use my removal here like this. It is less than ideal, and I have nothing good to do. Alright, so Ancestral Spirit is really proving to be quite weak here. What was the alternative? I don't remember what I could have taken instead of it, but whatever it was, it might have been a mistake not to. Alright, so this engine Shieldmaster dies to Lava Burst. If that's all he does, I'm okay. If he does more... Okay, so he's drawing cards. At least he's not doing more stuff. That's fine. Hate to use the Lava Burst on a creature rather than to, you know, win the game, but I would definitely rather have it than not. He's dead. Yeah, let's make a totem. And let's play the guy. Alright, I'm glad that this guy got the power, because he doesn't die to the Fire Blast. 2 of the 3 things I have on the board are totems, so I don't really care that much if he Flame Strikes. If he does have Pyroblast and Fireball, he's probably going to win the game just by burning me down, so I have to assume he doesn't. Flame Strike, I'm okay with it. This is his entire turn, and nothing that valuable died. But I need creatures. I need creatures. That is not the greatest of creatures, but it is a creature. I am not in a position to complain. I think part of the reason why Ancestral Spirit is just so god-awful terrible is that in this game, creatures don't stick around that much. Like, you really want to play it on your turn, on a creature that's about to trade with your opponent's creatures. Like, how often does that really happen and you have 2 mana to spare to do these shenanigans? Okay. Well, this is a nice little stalemate. Okay, that is not so much a stalemate anymore. So he can kill my guy next turn quite easily. I could put Ancestral Spirit on it just to be a dick. Or I can Bloodlust, and I've got Lava Burst. Well, I got lots of options at least in this game. Well, first of all, it makes absolutely no sense not to hit his guy. Because, well, hang on, if I cast Bloodlust, I should think about it. It makes no sense not to hit his guy because the Healing Totem will heal the damage. Do I actually want a Bloodlust here? 4, 3, 7. I could kill this thing with Bloodlust. So Bloodlust is like a kill the enemy's Mogushan Warden. That's not super great. So I think I'm not going to play Bloodlust, therefore I'm going to play this, let the Healing Totem heal it. I'm going to play Ancestral Spirit on this thing as it comes back. Now Polymorph will cancel that. But I believe he would have played Polymorph before if he had it. So that's why I'm taking that gamble. Plus, I'm really behind. When you're behind, take gambles. I'm going to play this guy down. And I have enough mana to Lava Burst his best creature. And to make a totem. Alright. Everything heals up. The healing totem, by the way, is really great against mages because it makes it harder for them to burn you down. So, on my next turn, I could Bloodlust just as a kind of like removal spell, basically. Not because I actually am going to win. Holding Bloodlust until I can use it to win, I think would be a gross mistake.
Shields up.
I don't like this creature at all. The reason I've mentioned before is that if everything has taunts, nothing is protected. So she essentially protects herself, which is stupid. So, here, I think is a good time. Yeah, I've got taunt, buddy. I got taunt. Here's a really good time, I think, to use Bloodlust and do as many beneficial trades as I can. Let's see. She will kill this by herself.
What to do? What to do?
But I would rather she killed that by herself. But every creature that dies before this gets hit makes it have less health. Well, I'm gonna have to think about this. Okay. So this is interesting. I don't see any benefit to bringing him back, especially because I lose the death rattle if I do. I can bring her back after I Bloodlust. I only have 8 mana, which is fine, so if I play him, I can't make a totem. Okay, well, if I I'm definitely Bloodlusting. I just clearly have to Bloodlust. Alright, so what do I want to do here? Well, this guy actually kills the totem. This guy does not kill the totem. I think I want to keep my totem around. However, this guy is one short of killing the Warden, but he can kill the 2/1. If he kills the 2/1, this becomes a 6/6. She can kill the 6/6. Then it's just a 1/5 left over, who is sort of ineffectual. So I'm actually going to leave this guy alive. Well, hang on. If I hit this guy, he'll go up to 3. That means she can actually kill him, but then he comes back, so that's fine. Okay, so I need to kill him. Make this guy 6/6. Kill him. Do damage to this because it's getting healed, so it'd be a waste not to do it. And if I play him to bring her back, she loses Divine I can play her back and get Divine Shield, but then she can't attack. But she's dead anyway to the mage. So let's just go ahead and bring her back. It's a shame I can't play a totem, because that would have been nice to be able to do. But I think that was fine. Turn of events. Anyway, she can kill this guy with her creature and the spell, but then he comes back. And it's a 1/1 that needs to be dealt with again. Now, my opponent does have some card advantage, 6-4 total. And one of them is a totem, so it doesn't really count. That's a good answer to this thing. That's actually a ridiculously good answer. And she's healing back up her guy. So it was a very good response, all in all, to everything that I did. So this guy's healed all the way back up to 7, and the next turn the Cobra will be able to attack and kill my Taunter. Right, so he triggers my ancestral whatever. Brings back attack. I don't have enough damage on the board to kill his thing, so I can't kill the Cobra. So, yeah, I'm in trouble now. However, the mages played everything out, so, I mean, that was everything she had. Unfortunately, I don't have anything much better to put on, and this Cobra is just a beast. So basically, the Cobra lives and kills my Warden, and there's nothing I can do about it. That is a darn shame. So this Warden is really putting in work. Okay. Well, there's nothing to do but just play out my hand, I guess. So let's see what totems I get. Spell power. Alright. Might as well hit him because it all gets healed. And then might as well play everything out. Yeah, I'm walking into a Flame Strike, but the Flame Strike would have to be top decked, and I have to assume she's not going to get it, or else there's no way that I can win this game. Because of the Cobra. Gah. I have a Taunter still. I love how you can see what your opponent's trying to do. He actually can like do really good things. He can like do 4 or 5 into here, 3 into there, kill it, use the power to pop the shield. Actually, no, you don't want to use that on the Cobra. Never mind. Never mind. I think the Cobra's best used is to just kill this, unless he wants to kill my Berserker, which is also fair. So the problem is I can't actually kill this Cobra. And with no one can live and attack the Cobra anyway. Never mind. What am I talking about? He's attacking me. I don't. Wow! I think that has to be a mistake. To attack me instead of taking this opportunity to enact extremely favorable trades with my creatures. I mean, he could have killed my Berserker, for example, and lived to tell about it. But instead, this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens. Now, if he has a copy a creature, I'm just going to accept that I'm going to lose. So I have to just play it. It's not that. Okay, so it's either Vaporize, which I don't care, or Ice Armor, which I don't care. Counterspell or Ice Block, which I totally don't care. So great. Yeah, he needed to kill my creatures while he had the chance. Funnily enough, the Healing Totem stops the Enrage from working on my Berserker, which is a little bit of a non-bow that I was not previously aware of. Oops. It's a shame. Alright, so he's finally killing my Healing Totem. Good for him. Demolisher by itself isn't that big of a deal. Give all other Murlocs +2 health. How many Murlocs do I have? 0. So glad I have this card. Alright, let's just kill creatures. Because killing creatures is good. Put a totem down to hopefully draw the Demolisher's fire. Healing, yay! Let's find out if this is Vaporize. It's not. So it's not Vaporize, it's not Ice Armor. It could be Ice Block. It could be, that's perfect. It could be Ice Block. It could be Counterspell or Spellbender. Alright, Polymorph. Wow, well, I'd obviously rather have him polymorph that than, like, you know, my arena person or, you know, any number of other things. Alright, so it's funny how I actually cannot deal 3 damage to this thing and kill it, so more of my stuff will die. Oh, hey, look at that! So the question is, how do I actually do that? Because if I go in with this guy, he will die. If I go in with the totem will live, but so will the Demolisher. Choices, choices, choices. I think actually I'd rather just keep a 4/4 on the board, even if it means sacrificing this dumb thing. But yeah, so I'm almost going to get the full array of totems here. The one I really want, of course, is the one that can actually attack, and that's the one I don't have. But I can't complain about luck this game, especially that polymorph not coming up until later was pretty epic. I'm doing pretty well considering there's 9 cards. My opponent has drawn 3 more cards than I have this game, and I'm actually ahead. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. However, the nice thing is that he has to waste a turn attacking into my Taunt Totem, which gives me actually 2 chances to draw an answer. That is fine. Play a totem. Well, I know what it is. It's the one. Knife went in the wrong direction. I don't want to do this just yet. I don't want to do it until I have to. So I'm going to draw. I'm going to deal more damage to my opponent. And we all heal up. Alright. So, what did he draw? It's a little bit of a top deck war here. Oh my god, that's really good. Okay, Healing Totem. Probably... I'm fine with that. I mean, if he had taken out the Taunt Totem, that's what would have been really bad. Now I get a turn, but he has to kill the Taunt Totem. I have... he's killing my other totem. That's very smart. So he's making it less and less likely for me to get the Taunt Totem out. But on the plus side, this just happened. So let me actually totem first. Well, I'm really glad I drafted that Faceless Manipulator. That's not the right one. But that's the right one. Ooh, yeah. Alright, let's... Oh, I need to actually copy someone. Yeah, let's go ahead and copy that. Thanks. Okay, so... The Knife Juggler can trade here. This plus a Spell Power Totem can trade there. Is there anything better? This can trade here. Knife Juggler and both totems can trade there. But I don't necessarily want to do that because then he can kill it with Fire Blast. But I'd rather... Yeah. I think I'd basically... It's a matter of... Okay, if I do this, and and this. I get to keep this healing totem around, and it's a 1/3. If I do this and then throw both totems away, I get to keep that guy around, and it's a 1/1 who can die, or a 5/1 who can die. So I'd rather keep something weaker that lives than keep around something that dies. So what we will do is this, this, this. Oh, I just summoned it this turn. Oh my gosh! I'm so dumb! Well, I'm glad I didn't do it the other way, because that would have been a disaster. He would have kept his 6/6 alive. Oh, that was a really stupid mistake on my part. Okay, he top-decked a good thing. I top-decked a good answer. Unless he can deal 2 damage, that was a waste of his hero ability. It's still pretty much a waste of his hero ability, because I'm going to heal on my turn, so he would need to top-deck something else in order to be able to do it. Alright, let's get a totem. Taunt is great. Smash face. There is a very real fear that he has, you know, because it's if it is counterspell, this will get cancelled. If it's the spell Bender, that's also bad. So I might be in a little bit of trouble. That's a very good play, dealing damage to my taunt totem, because that would mean that he can kill it. And I don't have that good odds of getting another one, 1 in 3. But let's go ahead and do it. Alright, spell power, it's fine. Damage in him. Do I want to play Loot Hoarder? Yeah, because it'll draw a card if it dies, and I don't have good cards. So the thing I'm worried about here is that unless he played Ice Block, which is a terrible card, and I'm never going to assume anyone's playing it, this is either going to get countered or it's going to get redirected. So that's a problem, because if it gets redirected, it could be really, really disastrously bad. That was a pretty good draw, and that was a pretty good follow-up draw. I can answer it with what I have on the board, especially now that I drew that. And in fact, that is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I don't see any better option. Let's just kill it.
Hey, give me that!
Okay. Now this is a very tricky situation because it looks like my opponent is dead. Because it looks like I just lava burst and he dies. But again, either this is getting countered or it's getting redirected, which is really bad. Because they could like kill my champion. Or he has Ice Block, in which case he's not dying this turn. So I'm not particularly inclined to go for the kill, because it's whatever the secret is, it's guaranteed not to actually kill him. So instead we're just going to play it safe. We're going to kill this Twilight Drake. Attack with the totems. Heal up. Play the Loot Hoarder again. It's not that I'm overextending, it's just that if the Loot Hoarder dies, he gives me a card, and the card is really valuable. So I'm trying to kill him without having to use the spell, basically. If it is Ice Block, then I will regret not having killed him last turn, because if I had, and it was Ice Block, I could kill him this turn. I was just concerned that it was redirection, and then something of mine would have died. Since I seem to be rather crazily ahead here, I don't see the point in risking it. Wow, that was a very bad top deck for him. Poor guy. Okay, so as I mentioned in a previous video, when you're concerned about your opponent having Ice Block, what you want to make sure that you do is have your weakest point of damage go in last. That way, the least amount gets cancelled, and it looks like whatever it was not Ice Block, so I just win. Alright, spectacular! Glad to get a game here. And, oh, I'm up to 2 wins! I thought I lost the first game for some reason. I guess my memory was just like, it was a rogue, must have lost. But no, I actually won the last game, so I'm up to 2 wins, that's great. This deck feels strong. Like I felt, even though that game was a bit of a top-decking war, I felt like I was in pretty good shape in both of those games. So, yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, you can call me an arrogant jerk face if you want, but I think I can take this deck to 7. We'll see what happens. So, Warrior, Drawden. I get an extra card, really good. Let's see what it is. Well, I don't want this. And what I'd like to do is actually throw away the Spellbreaker and keep my removal and my buff. So, in the worst case, I buff a totem. In the best case, I get a 2-drop somewhere, and I can buff that. My curve is pretty low, so it's not, like, super unlikely to get a 2-drop, but instead I got more removal and Garbage Face. Alright. The thing that's really annoying about this is it's all other Murlocs. So, like, if your opponent has Murlocs, you have to watch out for that. You can get, like, hella screwed. Alright, that's unfortunate. I have innumerable 2-drops in this deck. None of them have come up to me just yet. So next turn we're gonna totem, because 3 out of 4 totems will survive the Novice Engineer's attack. I don't see any reason to kill it. Actually, this is even better. Let's do that.
Bring me steel.
Here's where I'm really happy that I'm not playing a mage. Or, actually, no, sorry, what am I thinking? This guy has 3 health, so never mind. Even if I was up against a mage, he'd survive. Alright, let's see what my opponent does.
Be my ancestor.
That is actually a really good answer to what I have right now, because the +1/+1 isn't quite enough to kill it, and I certainly don't want to enrage it. He's just doing a wacky little traitoroo there. Now we're in an awkward situation where if I play the Shattered Sun Cleric on him, he's a 2/4, so he doesn't kill that, and I don't have enough mana left for the Rockbiter weapon. If I play the Rockbiter weapon, I don't have any 2-drops still. But once again, I've drawn all 3 of my Lava Bursts, so yay! Let's go ahead, though, and do this play to take care of his creatures, maintain control of the board, and with my very tenuous 1 health, play a totem, which will get buffed. Oh my gosh! I could have probably used the coin there. That might have been smart. I should have used the coin and put this guy down. And then, or put the guy down and then use the coin on the Rockbiter weapon. That probably would have been a bit smarter.
Don't mess with
So I slow rolled it in a situation where I don't really want to be slow rolling. Upgrade is that's a pretty good card because he can kill off my weakened armorer. So yeah, had I played the Shattered Sun Cleric, that armor would be alive. That might be the mistake that cost me because yeah, it meant that I lost a guy and I did trades inefficiently. Luckily, this is permanent, so I don't see any particular reason to not do this, especially since it's going to die anyway. Question is, what do I want to do? So now the Shattered Sun Cleric's not super great, but the Cold-Light Seer does survive, so yeah. Let's play this, I think. Well, hang on. He can attack the Cold-Light Seer and kill it with the weapon. However, you can also do the same with the Shattered Sun Cleric. Buffing this is terrible because you can kill that. Coin for 5. I don't have anything to play for 5. So, yeah, I guess I could Lava Burst, but I don't particularly want to have... What is it going to be? 5 mana, 3 mana next turn? Although 3 mana is all I need. Yeah, let's Lava Burst. Okay, so I've got 1 mana left. I could Coin Totem. That's not worth it. Alright, let's save the coin to dig out of my... Overload if I need to. Let's say he plays Twilight Drake or something and I need to silence it. Alright, just 1 more durability left on that weapon. That is... dying to Lava Burst. Yeah, I don't see any reason to let that stick around because it kills anything I play and survives. So I'm in like perpetual overload mode. Well, you see, the solution to being overloaded is to play overload cards which are cheap, and then you can postpone your debt forever. Alright, that is unfortunate, but at the same time, this is a pretty good response, although it dies to it, since I can't play Shattered Sun Cleric to buff it up. So the main thing is, do I want to play this and have it die, or do I want to play this and potentially have it live? Although he has the Divine Shield, so... Well, it's like a trade, basically. Like, on my turn, I attack into it. Yeah, it's fine. I think I'll do that. Well, I have to spend the coin for it. Lava Burst will actually kill it. Ah, that's it. That's it. So, okay. I'm going to play the coin. I'm going to play the Mercenary. My plan here, which is ingenious, is that he attacks into it, pops a Divine Shield, expects me to trade next turn, but what I actually do is play Lava Burst because, yep, I'm that jerk-faced Shaman who drafted 3 Lava Bursts. It dies, Taunt is out of the way, and I attack for 7 damage. That's the plan, gentlemen as well as ladies. If he does something else, well then I'll react accordingly, but that is currently the idea. I wonder. Yes, you'd better wonder it up. This is such a difficult creature to deal with. It's like a lose-lose, right? You either 2 for 1, and then your opponent gets his minions costing normally again back, or you let it sit on the board, in which case it wrecks your face.
Behold the might of
That is a very good answer to what I played. Okay, so very good move on his part, not popping the shield, because if he popped the shield, I could Lava Burst and kill him. I can Spellbreaker and then kill him, and then it's a 7/1. I could Spellbreaker, leave this alone as a 5/6, and trade on the 6/6, but then the Spellbreaker dies. Do I have any other plays? I could trade, things cost normally again. I could Knife Juggle and pray that I can pop the Divine Shield. Let's see, Knife Juggler would cost 2. Totem would cost 2. Okay. Wait, this is only dealing 5 damage. Okay, wait, if I do this, pop the shield, Panda, bring him back to my hand, I have 2 mana left. Not a good situation. Alright, well, in that case, we're gonna go with the original plan.
Your magic
Silence
shall
this.
not save you.
And hit this. So, I'm vulnerable to a bunch of stuff here. Whirlwind is obviously fantastic. Cleave is fantastic. His weapon, he could just hit me and take 7 damage. He might decide that that is worthwhile. But I think if he doesn't do any of those things, then if I get to trade this guy for a Stormwind Champion, then that is just too good. Give your opponent a mana crystal. What? Alright. So is he going to hit me is the question. I think the correct answer is to hit me. Because he's got a lot of health. His hero ability is to get health. So he can spare 7 health in exchange for not having my guy, not in exchange for keeping a really good creature on the board. So I just got a free mana crystal. Lava Burst will kill off this guy who's getting bigger and bigger. And a 5/3 I'm not that scared of. Is he armoring and is he going to attack? Oh, he's going to attack me. Greedy. Alright. So well, okay, I have options, because Lava Burst will also kill, well, it'll kill really anything. So yeah, I think I need to kill this, because I am getting down to 17, so it's important to try to stem the bleeding a little bit. Okay, this is the most dangerous target. This is just a 4/2 at the end of the day, so I think that needs to die. Do I have anything to play that will survive 4? Dark Iron Dwarf if it's buffed, but I don't have enough mana to play Shattered Sun Cleric. This, if it's buffed, still dies. These all obviously die. So I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and try to spend as much mana as I can't really spend all my mana. I don't really want to buff something that's just going to die. So what we're going to do is this. I went in the wrong direction, but at least I got a taunt, which is fine. So I'm not going to do this, because I was going to gamble that if I hit him, I would play the Panda and hope to hit him again and return the totem to my hand, but since that didn't happen, I'm just going to end the turn. He's in pretty rough shape. He has to waste his attack going after my totem. And on the next turn, I can Dark Iron Dwarf my totem and kill this thing. Now, if he has Cleave, he can kill both my things, which I'm okay with. Okay, I'm okay with that, because really it was just the Knife Juggler that he killed after the totem is free. That thing is... oh my god, it's really bad that I didn't have anything left on the board, because that thing is just so incredibly good. Letting everything charge is amazing, especially when you're trying to race the person down. Alright, well, I'm probably going to lose this game now, because what's happening is he's got 8 damage on the board that I can't do anything about. And any minion he plays has charge, so that's just terrible, because it means that any minion that he draws will be able to kill me. Okay, that was incredibly lucky, to be fair, because I can save myself from 1 attack at the very least. And I think the most valuable thing I can do with 6 mana is put down the Loot Hoarder and put down the Dark Iron Dwarf. Now, who do I want to buff? Well, 2 damage won't kill any of his things, 4 damage will, but once he kills the Taunt Totem, he's probably not going to be attacking my creatures anyway. He just needs a creature that has a power of 5 or more to win, so there's a lot of things that he can win with.
I wonder.
So he's gonna... yeah, it actually doesn't matter. I think I should just put it on the Loot Hoarder, because the totem is just going to die to a weak creature. Yeah, that Cleave in context turned out to be game-winning for him, because I needed to be able to kill this Warsong Commander. Or how... okay, well, I guess I was going to lose anyway. Well played. You know, that was a good example of him outgrowing me. Because I had the cards, like if I could have stabilized, I would have been fine. Well, with Gorehowl in his hand, maybe I wouldn't have been fine. With him at a ton of life in Gorehowl, he was probably going to win anyway. That card is so good. Okay, well, after saying I can get to 7 wins, losing after 2 wins is a little bit distressing, but hey, it's just 1 loss. 1 loss never killed anybody. Let's take a sip of good luck water. This is special water. It comes from my fridge. Oh my gosh, I feel like I could have beaten this deck. I had a very slow start. I didn't have any 2-drops to play on turn 2 or anything like that. Well, that problem is solved here. Ancestral Spirit can go die. Faceless Manipulator, I mean, I might regret throwing it away, but I am actually going to go for the gold, go for the glory here, try to get some 2-drops. Nope, nope, and yep. Alright, fantastic. The turn 1 play. Oh my god! I've been turn 1 mind visioned by like 3 out of 4 priests I've played against. At least he didn't get my lava burst. Oh, this could be very bad. I mean, he had a 50-50 chance of just getting a 2-drop that will trade with this. Actually, no, the Weaponsmith won't trade. It will die to it. So if you got the Weaponsmith, that's good. If you got the Ogre, that's alright. I mean, at least it's not going to come into play for a while. If you got the Gnomish Inventor. Oh, looks like you got the Swordsmith. Unless, of course, he drafted a Swordsmith. Who knows? Who knows what really happened? Let's go ahead and kill it. That was definitely the best possible thing. If he Mind Visioned the Swordsmith, then I got amazing 25% odds because any of the other creatures would have been better for him to steal. Well, it's a good thing he's not a mage, because this 4-1 actually has a non-zero chance of living. That's always really exciting. Next turn I can play Garbage Face, the Garbage Face, and we'll see what we can do. Oh, that's a really good Holy Smite. So that really keeps him in the game here. Luckily he had no other plays. Let's go ahead and play Senor Garbage Face from Garbage Faceville. A suburb of Garbage Town. I like how he doesn't even buff himself. So like if he has like a random Murloc, it'll have +2 health. I wish you could like veto cards in the draft and be like, there's 3 cards and like that you pick them and you're like, I never want to see these cards. That would just be so cool. Okay, so I have 2 options. I can either play this and a totem. The advantage of that is that as he comes up on turn 5, Holy Nova, this is immune to Holy Nova and in fact would get buffed, and then that would be his whole turn, so he couldn't do anything else, and the totem dying to Holy Nova, who cares? Also, these guys don't die to Holy Nova either. This also doesn't die to Holy Nova and draws me a card, but I'm going to go with the more aggressive play and just put more stuff on the board because I want to press the advantage while I have it. Now, the Spell Power Totem is probably the worst one for me to get, but whatever. It's a creature on the board. If I draw Bloodlust, I am going to be a Wrecking Ball powerhouse. Now, I'm glad that I drew back this Faceless Manipulator because I can now kill him. And actually, to be perfectly fair, I'm really glad I got the Spell Power thing because I think Lava Bursting this is really the best way to go. Well, it's interesting. So if I get greedy, if I play the Faceless Manipulator and copy it, and then I trade all my creatures in to kill it, that can't be good. But then let's say I go over top of him and attack him, he'll probably just kill my Faceless Manipulator. So what I think I'd rather do is save the Faceless Manipulator for a threat that I can't deal with. And bask in the fact that I was able to deal with a Ventricle Mercenary with a single card. My board is shockingly Holy Nova proof, which is always really fun. This is a pretty cool minion to get buffed. Now it's a 2-1, which is fantastic. And I've got great plays here. Oh my gosh, I am in the freaking driver's seat. So I'm going to have 4 mana, so these are both great cards to play. In the turn after that, I can Faceless something if he plays a really good creature, or play this to just beat his face. Wow, alright. I'm feeling good. Nanner, 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 nanner. And I didn't know that I would, but I'm pretty sure. Well, let's see. He's got 18 health, 2, 5, 8, 9. So I'm having his life. Of course, you can spend 2 mana to play this, but as a priest, if you're spending 2 mana to heal out of your 6, if you're spending a third of your mana to heal instead of dealing with this, you're probably going to lose.
I must consider.
What's really interesting is none of my stuff is that remarkable. Like this guy, meh. The panda, meh. This guy sucks. This guy is pretty good. But like It's not that I'm doing anything really remarkable, it's just the fact that I played stuff, and my opponent didn't. So, times like these, in case you... Okay. Well, the Dark Iron Dwarf was really good. I don't know if he, like, saw that I had the Dark Iron Dwarf by hacking into my computer and realized he lost, but the Dark Iron Dwarf could have pumped one of my three power dudes, traded with his lord, and then I could have swung at his face, and it would have been glorious. But instead he left, because I guess he was frustrated. Alright, so I'm up to 3 wins. It's interesting, my wins when they happen with this deck and with my previous deck that got up to 6 were so easy, so let's just hope that the champagne keeps flowing. I'm up against a Paladin. Paladin's actually, I think, pretty good against Shaman because the 1/1s can tickle your totems all day. I'm going first. I have like a curve of stuff to play, so rather than trying to gamble and hope I get more 2-drops, I'll just take the guaranteed 2, 3, 4. Now, he mulliganed his whole hand, so he could have anything. This is 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and do this thing. So if my opponent has a slow start, he's going to be in trouble. If he has an aggressive start with good cards, then he will probably win because my cards are not actually good, they're just on curve. Like, well, they're good. Like, no, Metra's good, this guy's good. It's just that there's nothing, like, amazing happening, you know, with my cards. They're just on curve. So I'm really liking the Paladin's ability more and more. Notice how annoying this is. I don't want to leave this on the board, that's for sure, so I need to kill it. But I take a damage for that, you know, so it's kind of like, ugh. Alright, so I guess, you know, if he were a mage, he could have just dealt damage anyway. But then, by putting a creature on the board, he gives me the opportunity to screw up, and then he has a buff and can kill me. Yeah, you know, Paladin's ability is good. I think I need to raise my respect for the Paladin a little bit more. Okay, so let's see what it does with this coin, of course. That is perfect. See, this is why I am so sad when I don't see any Dark Iron Dwarfs in my draft. Look at what I get to do. I get to put a creature on the board and kill his creature. So it's just so tremendous that I hope for it in every draft. This is a pretty good place to be. The really only card I'm afraid of him having is True Silver Champion. That is the card that will allow him to kill both of my creatures. Any other Paladin removal I'm not afraid of, because Hammer of Wrath deals 3 damage, Consecration deals 2 damage, Blessing of Kings, we need a minion on the board. Next turn I'm playing a 7/8. Alright, so this is great. Imp Master is totally fine. I don't particularly care. What's this guy gonna do? Probably kill this thing. This is funny. So I could play another Dark Iron Dwarf. No, you know what? Let's go ahead and just kill the Imp Master. Let's kill an Imp. And let's play the Earth Elemental because since it's not overpowered enough, it also has Taunt. So what do Paladins have that can deal with this? Well, a neutral Silence card would at least take off the Taunt and let him trade his 1-drop into my 3-drop. Do Paladins have Silence? I don't think Paladins have any Silence cards. He can play some wacky secret or something, I guess. I'm not really afraid of any Paladin cards at the moment. Alright, I'm thrilled to see that, because it doesn't kill my Elemental, and he can deal damage to me, but so what. Alright, so he's keeping everything stealth, which is kind of funny. I can't actually play any of my cards because of Overload, which is fine. Let's go ahead and see what I get, just in case. It is Healing Totem. I bet my opponent is not happy about that, because that heals my guys to full health, and it stops him from being able to trade his guy in here. And that's somehow if he managed to kill the Earth Elemental. My god, the Earth Elemental is so stupid. I don't want to say it's broken because 3 Overload is a lot, but maybe it should cost 6 mana. Or be a 6/7. Or like a 7/7 or something. It just feels like I'm cheating when I play this card and my opponent does not have an immediate answer to it. So comically enough, he is dead right now if he does nothing, because this is 7 + 4 is 11, 13, 14, 15, giving me the damage he needs exactly. If he plays a Taunter, I can silence it with Earth Shock. Oh, that's a pretty good answer to Earth Elemental. Alright, very, very good answer. And he killed off my totem. What a jerk. Alright, so let me think about what I want to do here. I obviously want to trade off his 9/9 Tiger, and I can kill his 3/2. That's totally fine. I can also Earthshock this and kill it, and keep a creature on the board. So that'll cost me 5 mana. Then I can still play the Loot Hoarder. Alternatively, I could gamble on a Spell Power Totem. Then I could actually Earthshock the 9/2 and kill the 2/1. I could play Faceless Manipulator and copy the 9/2, then kill the 2/1 and kill the 3/2. Can Paladins deal 2 damage? Yes, with Consecration, and that would also then kill my Dwarf. So I don't want to particularly open myself up to Consecration in that way. So let's go ahead.
I wonder.
And since I'm going to be spending 5 mana anyway... Wait, what was my plan? Oh god, I forgot my plan. Oh my god. So wait, I trade this, kill this, Earthshock this. So I don't even need the Dark Iron Dwarf for anything. So... yeah, I guess I might as well put a 9/2 on the board. Alright, so we do this. Do this. Oh, that's right, I didn't want to do this because it makes him kill me with Consecration. Well, that's 4 out of his 7 mana, and then I have the initiative on the next turn. Alright, so he has it. Yeah, maybe I should have done a slightly different play there, like played a bigger creature that didn't die. Oh, he actually had a good follow-up for it too. Oh my gosh. That mistake might be the one that cost me the game if I do end up losing this game, simply because I knew that I was putting myself in danger of being consecrated, and I didn't play around it when I could have. So basically, I just lost a Faceless Manipulator for nothing, which is sad. But, on the flip side, because I top-decked this, I am now doing just fine. He has the initiative, of course, because he can play, but if he doesn't have good answers, he's going to be screwed. Another Blessing of Kings? No. Alright, so that allows him to trade up. Notice how the Dark Iron Dwarf is really good for him. It's just such a good card. I can't stress it enough. Alright, so he's got 4 mana left to play with. If he does nothing else, I'll be pretty happy. If he does anything else, I'll be kind of unhappy. But if he does nothing else, he trades, dies. Pretty happy to see that. I can Dark Iron Dwarf my Loot Hoarder and kill his Dark Iron Dwarf. Holy Light Restore. Oh my god, I'm so happy to see that. That is such a bad card. Please don't play with that card unless there's literally nothing else in the pack. Like, if you get, like a bug where there's, like, no card, and, like, Holy Light, then you probably still should not take Holy Light. You should just let the game give you a 29-card deck, because that card is so bad. Now, what am I going to do here? Do I want to draw a card? Yes. I don't want to play this guy, because he can just pop the Divine Shield. So, I will play this. So I might as well do it first, because you always draw cards first. I could Lava Burst that guy down, but I think actually, trading Loot Hoarder for the Dark Iron Dwarf and drawing a card is much better. Alright, Knife Juggler will be a nice thing to look forward to. I now have overwhelming board advantage and card advantage, and he needs to crawl back to win this game for sure. Crucible Champion is a very good draw, because it allows him to kill both of my creatures. That is also a good draw, because it comes back to life. Alright, fair play. Fair play, and he gets to put more minions on the board. He kills my bigger guy first, which is totally acceptable. He attacks me in the face. Well, I think what I need to do is put as much creatures on the board as possible here, just to see if... well, after the Knife Juggler. So, I'm going to want to silence this, pretty much for sure, and I can still play a Loot Hoarder and a Totem. So yeah, we'll do that. Just see where these knives land. There is pretty good, actually. So, since I'm going to be doing this for sure, let's kill it now before I play more creatures, to increase the odds of the having knives hit his minions. Alright, that last one didn't connect, that's totally fine. Okay, so I'm back in the driver's seat. Kind of. He can kill one more creature with the True Silver Champion, but he is taking damage for doing that. He is just this on the board and only 2 cards. I have Lava Burst, so I can kill the Core Hound that he just played. That's another bad card. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Well, anyway, I can answer all this stuff and have more creatures left over. So I'd still say I'm very comfortably winning here, and we'll need to get unlucky in order to lose. Good call killing my Knife Juggler. Can't complain about that. Good call killing my Loot Hoarder. Oh, wow, that's interesting. I think I think it's worth it. I mean, it's basically I'm getting like a 4/3 for 2 mana. That seems perfectly legit. Although, hang on. If I do Lava Burst... Oh, I have enough for everything. Wow, that's really good. Okay, so I'm going to do this. We'll find out if Battle Crash trigger off of that card. I don't think they do. Yeah, they don't. Okay. And then my opponent's going to be extremely unhappy to see this. By the way, if you didn't know it or believe it before, that is why Core Hound is a terrible card. 5 health is really, really bad on such an expensive creature that doesn't have taunt. So that is why you never ever want to play with Core Hound. Okay, so let's see. Can I kill him this turn? The answer is no. I can 2-for-1 him in there. Oh, that changes everything. Let's see. I can trade this into that after the Bloodlust, and I have 7, 9 plus 6 is exactly 15 damage. Whoa. Okay, let me actually play the Bloodlust first, and then do this. Good game, sir. Well played. I feel like that was a pretty comfortable win. I was really ahead most of the game. He had to get lucky, really lucky in order to win, and he didn't. So, hey, happy about that. Alright, I'm up to 4 wins. This is where the opponents may start getting harder if, as we all suspect, Blizzard matchmakes you with other people who are getting wins. But those have been such comfortable wins so far against people with pretty decent decks that I feel pretty good about my chances still. Wow, double Loot Hoarder draw. And a Lava Burst for removal. Great. Now, of course, you always have to be a little bit scared going first against a rogue. Would much rather be going second here. But, if he doesn't have the Defias Ringleader, he mulligan 3 cards. If he still doesn't have Defias Ringleader, I'm okay with everything that's taking place. So does he have it? Imagine if he had it, he would have played it. Rogues don't, like, sit and think before playing Coin Defias Ringleader. Alright, wow, I just have my choice of 2 drops here. It's a bit of a tricky call. These obviously die to the rogue, but they draw a card. But I'd rather have board presence than cards. This survives the rogue ability, but dies if he has backstab. However, this also dies if he has backstab. So I'm just going to go ahead and play...
I wonder.
Well, hang on. If he has backstab... I would rather lose this than this, but if he doesn't have backstab, this survives. So I think the odds are against him having backstab, just like mathematically in general. He probably has 1 or 2 in his deck, but the odds of him having 1 are not, I think, greater than 50%, although I suppose I should really do the math on that. So I'll put the stronger creature on the board and put him in a do or die situation, play backstab, or die. I think I'm okay with that. Next turn, depending on what he does, I'll choose. If he plays nothing, he has no plays. I'm going to put this on. If he has a play, then I might put the Loot Hoarder. Or, well, I have a 50-50 shot at killing this thing. Yeah, let's put down the stronger creature.
It's time for a little run.
Oh, that's really unfortunate, because now he can trade his Loot Hoarder very profitably in the Knife Juggler. That's a shame. So remember, folks, if you know the opponent's going to attack into your creature, hit your opponent in the face. So that was your 50-50 odds that were quite unfortunate, because had it hit the Loot Hoarder, it would have been a very, very different game. My Knife Juggler would have survived, and he would have had to, at the very least, spend a card to kill it. Instead, he gets to kill it with the Loot Hoarder, leaving this guy on the board. Now, next turn I can play 2 Loot Hoarders myself, so I have a real army, so he better put something down. Let's say he's got a 4-drop.
This is
He's got the combo. Of course he does. And Shadow Step. Okay, so he gets to put another 2/1 down. Alright. Well, I think I'm okay with this turn of events.
Yeah, beat it.
Oh, you can still do Dagger Mastery? Jesus. Okay. That was a lot done for 0 mana. Okay, so I can play a Totem, but I don't think that's very good right now. I can do Lava Burst and nothing else. I don't think that's very good right now. So what I'm going to do is trade off and play 2 Loot Hoarders. I can still Lava Burst this guy next turn, if I need to. I can probably expect him to dagger this thing, or no, dagger one of these, and throw this guy into this thing, and then kill the other Loot Hoarder with his Ringleader. Not sure why he's daggering up. Oh, it's to make this better. I see. Fair enough. Alright, so I got hit somewhat hard there. I'm not that scared of a 2-3 though, to be perfectly honest. I can play the Faceless Manipulator for a 4-3, is that worth it? And then kill it. But the problem is 2 plus dagger will kill it. It's not a great use of Faceless Manipulator, and he doesn't need to play any cards to get rid of it. So I'd rather not give him that opportunity. Instead, what I would rather do is cry about the fact that neither of these can be made to do 3 damage. Where are you, Shattered Sun Cleric, when I need you? But let's go ahead and trade them in. See what cards I get. It's interesting, but not useful.
Hey, give me that!
Alright. This is not a good turn 5 play because this is a weak thing to copy. And now I kind of wish I had copied that 4-3, so I'd have something on the board. Instead, what I'm going to do is play the Panda, which at least trades with this guy or forces him to spend mana to use the dagger to kill it. And I can either do that, which is stupid, or play a totem. Health is always nice against rogues, and in any case, it causes him to divert his attention, because he's obviously going to kill this thing. So next turn, depending on what he does, I might just play a big dude. Alright, so he took it to the face to kill that guy. Okay, does he have a 3-mana play? Ooh, that's extremely lucky for me that he did not have a 3-mana play. Now, I could play this, which is a 7-6, but this is a 6-7, it's almost the same, and I have nothing to do with the extra mana. So, let's just go ahead and play this. I don't see any value in putting a taunt on the board right now. Good rule of thumb, taunt creatures are usually weaker than a vanilla creature in some way to compensate for the fact that they have taunt. So you don't want to play the taunt unless you actually need it. I'm not afraid of him swinging at my face right now. So there's no reason for me to put the taunter down on this empty board. Alright, I'm gonna go big or go home here. Play this, and let's play Ancestral Spirit on it. Well, do I want to do that? Because if he has a sap, which rogues do have, he can bring it back to my hand, and then I'm really kind of screwed. If he doesn't have sap, I can play Faceless Manipulator next turn for another one of those. So, I think I am behind. I'm behind a little bit. So I'm going to just go for the bigger play here. And hope he doesn't have a sap. The thing is, you can't always play around everything that your opponent has, but you should always think about what your opponent might have. I will get terribly busted if my opponent does have a sap or a kidnapper, but at least I thought about it and made that decision consciously. Over the course of your career playing Hearthstone, you will get better results if you're always making conscious decisions rather than unconscious decisions. So now he's got a bit of a tough time dealing with this thing, which comes back from the grave when it dies, and he's gonna... I wonder if oh, this is interesting. I wonder if the Faceless Manipulator copies the extra effects. Because if he does, that would be high freaking hilarious. I would then have 2 resurrecting necromantic 7/6s. Okay, if he had a sap, he would clearly have played it already, so he doesn't have it. He's just deciding what to do with about his terrible life. Well, apparently playing a Twilight Drake is actually quite good. Playing a Taunt is also really good. Holy crap on a donkey! That was a really good response. Now, I'd love to have my Silencer, and I don't. I could play another 7/6. Problem is, I really don't want to get hit by the 7/7. So I'm going to be a little bit less greedy. I'm going to use Lava Burst to kill his Taunter, which was extremely effective there. I'm going to destroy his Twilight Drake and come back to life. That was actually pretty good as far as that card is concerned. And I'm going to play this because why not? I have better things to play next turn. So, actually, because of Overload, I can't play Faceless Manipulator. That's a shame, but I can still play the Gnomish Inventor. So, I have better things to play. Like the Lord of the Arena now that my guy died, so I didn't see any particular reason to hold back. So that Assassinate is a bit unfortunate because he's actually ahead on cards now. So the gamble that I took paid off, kind of. Now, would I have been better off if I had made a Faceless Manipulator? Hard to say. It's really hard to say. Alright, well, now I want to protect myself. So, let's do this. He can trade both his creatures into it, which I'm fine with. What I'm much more concerned about are the cards in his hand. I'm actually in really rough shape now, because this is almost certainly dying this turn when the rogue has a full hands and the creatures to kill it on the board. And I'm getting a little bit to the point where life is a problem. Let's see, I have 4 cards on the screen. He has 7. I don't know how he got so far ahead of me. I felt like I was doing alright this game. But in any case, I am behind. I get to draw 1 more card with the Gnomish Inventor. Let's see what he chooses to do. Dagger Master, interesting choice. I imagine he has a follow-up plan for that.
Let the pain.
Apparently the follow-up plan is just play a bunch of random creatures. Alright. So is he going to 2 for 1? Yes, he is. So this guy becomes huge. Ah, he's just going to swing me in the face. I see. I see. Well, this is the time for Faceless Manipulator. I can copy that guy. 5/3. At least it trades with him. That's the thing about the Faceless Manipulator. It usually... Any like really scary creature is usually an answer to itself. But since I'm going to play the Gnomish Inventor afterwards, I should play it first, because you always want to draw cards first. Yeah, that's great. Alright, let's play this down. So, I'll have to review this game to see if it would have been better for me to copy my 7/6 and allow him to keep his 7/7 on the board. What probably would have happened is he would have traded a 7/7 into my 7/7 and then assassinated it anyway. So, it probably would have ended up being the same. That's very interesting. He might have a backstab, I imagine. Oh, he's trading his guy. I don't think that's right, because I think you want to trade your guy into him, who doesn't kill it, so that then you can live to see another day.
Truth is my
Taunt and Divine Shield is pretty good. Well, I haven't drawn my Silence guy yet. Oh, Lord. Yep, the card advantage is really paying off, because now I'm in serious trouble. If I don't draw Silence, like, Earthshock would be fantastic. Actually, it wouldn't quite be fantastic enough. No, I really do need to just get my Silencer and hope for the best. That is not going to do it, and I believe this is going to be another loss shortly here. I'd love to be able to attack one of these other creatures after playing the Alpha Wolf, but this guy is a terrible pain in the ass. So let's see, he's got 4, 12. Oh, man, this is bad. Well, he's got 12, 13, 14 damage coming at me, so really my only chance is to get a Taunt Totem to delay something. Healing Totem's not quite gonna do it. Yeah, it's over. It's over. Well, okay, I'll play on just in case. But I am fairly certain that it's over.
Hey, give me a minute.
So let's play Divine Shield. Oh, I just gave him an extra point of damage. Whoops! Great. So that's 9, 13, 14. Oh, Healing Totem gave me a heal. So 9, 13, 14, 15. If he has any source of damage whatsoever, yep, that'll do it.
Well played.
Alright. Well, that's all she wrote. And that's a really unfortunate loss. My goodness. I feel like, where did I go wrong? Maybe, I think if I had copied his 7/6 or whatever, the same exact thing would have happened. Somehow he got card advantage against me really good. I'll have to look back and see what exactly gave him so much card advantage. Because I had the 2 Loot Hoarders and a Gnomish Inventor and everything. I don't remember doing any 2-for-1s. Maybe it was the fact that I spent a lot of energy killing the scrubs that he was putting down. Oh my gosh, this deck, I like this deck so much! I want to keep playing with this deck! I don't want to lose another game, because that means I stop having fun with this awesome Shaman deck. You know what, if I lose, whatever man, screw you and the patriarchy. I had a fun time playing with this deck. This was not like the Paladin deck that I played, or where I went 6, the Druid where I went 4, or even the Druid where I went 9, where I just felt like it was an uphill battle every step of the way. I feel like this deck was solid. You know what? I'm going to cancel real quick, because I'm going to wait a little bit so I don't play that rogue again. That rogue is pretty good. Look at all these 2 mana cards. I should get 2 drops. Alright, so let's see what we're up against. I feel like I can get 3 more wins easy, guys. Easy. Peasy, schmeasy. As well as for heezy. What Went is the name of my next opponent, and he is a Druid. Haven't played one of these in a while.
I must protect the wild.
Alright, good start. I like going second. Very good start. I'll just keep everything. Removal, 2 plays, a silence in case he plays a Twilight Drake or something. Man, Silence would have been so good there. Earth Shock would have been a pretty good card. Did I already play Earth Shock earlier in that game? I can't remember. But that would have been a pretty good card to have. Alright, so I need to play the Panda first, so that I don't have to put the Knife Juggler back into my hand. Then next turn I can play the Knife Juggler and smash face. Come on, have no turn 1 plays. Come on, have no turn 1 plays. Or I guess it's turn 2 for you because you went first. Come on, don't have any plays. You don't have any plays, you're just going to use your hero power and you're going to hit me. Come on. Come on. What went? Like, what is that supposed to be? Like, what went down? What went down is you use your hero ability and pass the turn. Come on. No, don't play that card. Cards are lame! Cards are for losers! Only losers play cards. Alright, that's actually a good play. Get rid of the creature. Very smart. Unluckily for him, he's going to have to do that again.
Put this apple on your
I have another good creature. It's even better than the last one. And I have creatures to follow it up with, even. But what you're going to do is you're going to use your hero ability, you're going to hit me, and you're going to pass the turn. That's what you're going to do, Druid. Come on, man. I'm up against Rodan here. Okay, let's break the sign. Can you do anything with this hay?
What?
Can you do anything with the hay? Just hay? Wrath, okay. So he's 1-for-1ing me here. Oh no, he's not 1 for. He drew a card? I don't think that was the right play. I think getting rid of this a turn sooner is important because it's not just the card that matters or the damage. It's the fact that to kill it, you need to use your hero ability, which is 2 mana, on your next turn. So committing 2 of your next turn's mana to finishing this off, I don't think is worth having an extra card. I think the tempo is more important. But it's possible he only had 2 mana's worth of stuff to do, 5/7 drops and a 2-drop, so it's possible that was the correct play. But unless he plays a 2-drop right now, I'm gonna really doubt it. Yep, I think he just messed up. Okay, so I'm up against another newbie. The problem is, I have nothing to play. I can't play this. I don't want to waste the silence, especially because I'd have to waste my Divine Shield. So all I really get, and I don't want to play these Lava Bursts or Earth Shock. So all I can do is bash him in the face, and it's unfortunate, but I am giving him a chance to catch up, because I didn't have a follow-up. If I had had like a 4-drop that I could play, or a 3-drop, or a 2-drop or something, or even a 3-drop, this game would be falling into my hands very, very rapidly. As it is, he has a chance to catch back up here.
Wanna blow something up?
Mad Bomber is extremely good as a response to Scarlet Crusader because it pops the Divine Shield. So now I have the unfortunate choice between trading. What is he doing? Mark of Nature, +4 health and taunt. Interesting. Okay. Well, I can silence it and then trade. It'd be nice, of course, if this hadn't lost the Divine Shield, but I figured it was probably going to happen. Alternative plan, I could had to get a 1 in 3 chance of getting Spell Power, which would make Lava Burst kill it all by itself. If I don't get Spell Power, the taunt would be alright, because I would force him to attack it. The 1/1 would be terrible. If I don't get Spell Power, I can still... Oh, that's not a good trade, though. I can still Earth Shock, silence him, and then trade. It's not a good trade, though, because I'm spending 2 cards. So I think I'm going to make the safer play. I'm going to make the tempo play here. I'm going to silence this,
Shall not save you.
Join or
trade
die.
into it, and then pass the turn with board advantage and a good play on the next turn. So, playing kind of a tempo game here. I'm gambling that these Lava Bursts, plus the Ventrico Mercenary, plus the ability to silence something that he plays, are going to be stronger than what I could have had by keeping this in my hand. No, sorry, I said that wrong. I'm gambling that using this guy's ability marginally is worth the 4/3 body on the board. I'm guessing that his cards are not going to combat my advantage. So we'll see what he actually plays. That kills my Healing Totem. Perfect. I would love to see a Dark Iron Dwarf or a Shattered Sun Cleric right now, because then that would allow me to kill this. Shattered Sun Cleric would be perfect. That's not it. Direwolf Alpha, pretty good. I can trade. This is interesting. I mean, I can Earth Shock... Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Well, I can... Okay. I can Earth Shock it and kill it. That's a 2-for-1, which I'm not a fan of. But then I can put down a 7/6 for him to deal with.
I wonder.
Druids can't easily kill a 7/6. I can alternatively use Lava Burst to kill it and play the Wolf. That's a more conservative play. But I think it's the better play here because Ventricle Merc, he's not going anywhere. I can still play him next turn. And oh my god, that was terrible. The wolf first. Whoops. Well, actually, you know what? Hang on. I think maybe that's okay. I think I'm spending more of my mana this way, and then the wolf has a greater impact when he hits the board. Now, a possibility would have been to attack him and throw 2 Lava Bursts in his face. Then he'd be at 5 health and a Stampeding Kodo on the board, but then I wouldn't have any necessary way to kill him. So I think it's correct to use the Lava Burst on his creature. Now, if he plays something, I might want to Lava Burst it again. And then, oh my gosh. Ah, he's taking the health taunt. Earth Shock! Ah, so good! Oh my god, Earth Shock is so good. This does stop me from playing my Ventrico, but Earth Shock... Earth Shock! Now what's really sad is that this is only 2 damage rather than 3, because then I could kill it. Now I have options. I could... Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna actually try to rush him down. I think that's the best way to go about this. Because this is hard to get rid of. Druids do have class-specific silence, which would allow him to just kill a creature. But the problem is, this deals 5 damage, so if this is allowed to attack next turn, I win. So that's what we're gonna try to do. I have to gain a little bit of respect for the Mogashung Warden. It's one of those cards that's like, oh, this card sucks. But then, like, every time it comes down, it actually is really critical. Like, it's actually really critical that he's not allowed to attack my other creatures here. Now, the Ironbark Protector is a good answer. I've played both my silences, so I have no more answers to this one. Question is, can I do anything about it? Well, this is 5 damage, plus 3 damage after I play the wolf. Pretty decent trade, considering I get to then deal 5 damage to him. Is there anything better? Well, I could play the Ventrico. But then I can trade the wolf, trade these 2 creatures into that, then the Ventricle Mercenary. It's perhaps more flexible because it lets me hold on to the Lava Burst. And Lava Burst is harder to counter than creatures on the board. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Let's do it like this.